Hi, this is attorney Jamie Gorton from Gorton Law in Malden, Massachusetts. We're located just outside of Boston, and we're immigration lawyers who help clients from around the world. And I am here today to talk about the one question that no lawyer wants to hear, and therefore is the question that I want to ask all of my competitors and colleagues to see how they answer, which is, do I really need a lawyer? Sometimes the answer is obviously going to be yes. Allow me to treat you to a brief reenactment. It says here that you have court on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. You need a lawyer. And so you'll note that people who are in detention, or people who are in front of the immigration court, or people who have problems with the criminal justice system, they need lawyers, and they typically don't need to ask the question. They already know. So for people who are not in deportation or are not under arrest, the question is technically no. The forms are free. You can download them off of USCIS's website right now. And when you go to the post office to mail them, no one is going to stop you and ask to see your law degree or your bar card as you go to drop them in the mail slot. So the technical answer, and technically correct is the best kind of correct, is no, you do not need a lawyer. It can be done without a lawyer. The question that the person is really asking is, should I have a lawyer? And the lawyer's answer is always going to be, oh yeah, you need a lawyer. And every lawyer is going to have a different rationale for why you should have a lawyer. For example, people sometimes get very defensive and they might say something like, well, you wouldn't do your own surgery, or you wouldn't fix your car's engine, would you? You wouldn't try to YouTube instructions for that. I don't like to get defensive. Instead, I like to preempt the question. That's lawyer speak for, I like to have a conversation with the client that makes it unnecessary for the client to ask out loud if they should have a lawyer. They should know after talking with me whether or not it's a good idea for them personally to hire legal representation. And to do that, I introduce a concept that everyone knows and everyone understands, which is the traffic light guide to your immigration case. For example, some people have red lights. Maybe I'm the third or fourth lawyer to have to sit down with them, and they just want to hear some good news, and you have to be able to trust the lawyer that you're speaking with, so that if they say, no, there's nothing else we can do about this for you, it's probably best to stop. A red light, park the car. Blinking yellow lights are where lawyers are probably a very good idea for almost everyone. So for example, a person with a citizenship application who has been arrested, particularly in the last 5 years, well, that's very clearly a blinking yellow, foot off the gas, foot covers the brake, get ready to stop, be prepared for a little child to chase a ball into this intersection at any moment. There are a lot of different ways to get a blinking yellow light on your case, right? It still means go with caution, but emphasis on caution. Same thing with a solid yellow light. The solid yellow light is, okay, this is probably as close to I can get to urging you to get an attorney. You're in a world of very complicated law. You have a solution that requires a certain amount of legal, technical expertise for you to go from A to B. It's, for example, theoretically possible for non-attorneys to complete a waiver of inadmissibility or a provisional waiver of inadmissibility. But there are some processes and procedures in the realm of immigration that are really best left up to people who have done it before and are not doing it the first time with your case. Below the yellow lights, of course, we have the green light. And if you have a solid green light, the lawyer should be honest and tell you. They should be able to say, I don't see any problems as of today. Here's what a lawyer will do for you anyway. Here are the benefits for having an attorney in your situation. Here are the costs, and here are the benefits. I like to give this stoplight analogy because there are some questions that I wouldn't want to ask if I was interviewing an attorney. I wouldn't want to be the person who asks about the price. I wouldn't want to be the person who asks about how long it takes. And I don't want to be the person who asks about, well, what is the lawyer's job here anyway? I would prefer it vastly if the attorney who does the consultation speaks to all of those issues without being prompted. After all, every single person who does a consultation with an attorney is going to want to know in some form the answers to those three questions. So, what does an attorney do for you if you have a solid green or a blinking yellow, or in our hometown here in Malden, Massachusetts, we have one intersection that has a flashing green? I have no idea. If green means go and yellow means caution, blinking green, go without caution, I have no idea. So if you have one of those, you can think about your attorney's job as filling certain slots or roles for you that you may not be able to easily do yourself. So for example, we call these the 4 C's. The first C is correct. You want someone to get it right the first try. You don't want someone who file the wrong the wrong forms, the wrong evidence, the wrong filing fees, the wrong form addition date, things like that. No one is perfect, but a professional law office should have procedures in place to guarantee quality control, and if there are any mistakes, make sure that they are accountable for fixing them. The second of the 4 C's is counseling, legal counseling. They used to call us counselors and attorneys at law for long, and it got shortened down to just, lawyers. But counselors, you need legal counseling as to what your best option is. Hopefully, at our office at Gorton Law, we were able to provide that for you during a paid consultation. You wouldn't have to hire us for full freight to really get legal counseling. But that's not possible in every situation, particularly in complicated cases where people have criminal histories or histories of other immigration violations. The third C would be a concierge. USCIS has a 1-800 number. I hope you have as much fun calling it as we do here. You will typically not be able to speak to an immigration officer. You will typically not be able to speak with anyone who has any way to influence the progress of your case. You will typically be scolded for not using the website, and then you will be provided with the same information that you would be able to get on the website. So there is not a lot of great customer service with USCIS. You can always tell someone who might be in over their heads if you're sitting in the waiting room at the immigration office and you see someone come in without an appointment, hoping to just ask a simple question. They get turned away by the reception desk very quickly. That is not the degree of customer service that USCIS offers. When you have questions about a pending case, like, is this case taking too long? Did we miss anything? Should we have seen something happen by now? When do I get my fingerprints taken? There are a number of routine questions that every immigration consumer would want to know about. And being able to call your lawyer and have that lawyer on staff waiting to provide that customer assistance for you is a major role of what we do when we work for clients. The fourth C, I did not invent. A client told me that I should start saying it, and so I will. The fourth C stands for compassion. You want to be able to work with an attorney who cares about your case, not just their ego, not just their money, but your results, that you were treated fairly by immigration, that you were treated fairly by your legal representative, and that the person who's working on your case cares, not just about you as a person, but also about the outcome of your immigration process and about immigration in general. I love what I do. In terms of what lawyers can do for other people, this is it. I help people come to the United States. I help families unite legally. I help employers hire and retain world-class talent. And I defend the rights of people who are in custody and facing deportation. For me, I wouldn't want to do anything else. And I could. I'm a lawyer. I could, I don't know,